Turning to local government issues, the president said government has to ensure that those in charge of municipalities have the relevant skills. He told government officials that in order to make people's experience of local government pleasant, they have to ensure that municipalities function well and that there's good governance and effective service delivery. The meeting is attended by ministers, premiers, mayors, councillors and NGOs.
We must leave this place with an action plan that identifies what each sphere will do to improve local government with clear actions and time frames. Every single individual in our three spheres of dispensation must know his or her responsibilities to make local government.
Now for more on the summit, we're crossing to our contributing editor, Vuyo Mvoko. Now Vuyo, why are we having this summit?
Well, thanks very much, Tabile. Well, it started 5 years ago, you'll recall, when President Jacob Zuma was elected president. He immediately convened a summit. The minister at the time came up with a strategy which they said was to try and deal with the problems facing local government specifically. Now, a lot of targets were set at the time that over the years, in fact, by 24, which is now this year, complaints against local government would have been reduced, that all municipalities would have gotten clean audits, and that everything that is all the ills that are plaguing local government would basically have been dealt with. Now, as we all know, over the years, we have seen increasing numbers of protests. We have seen complaints about people who are employed without the correct qualifications. We have seen allegations of corruption and maladministration. So the president then felt that they needed this summit to get all and sundry to come together and actually discuss these problems and actually find a way forward. So we saw earlier today Minister Pravin Gordhan then putting on the table the basis of that plan.
Now, Vuyo, you've mentioned some of the challenges that municipalities face. Can you take us through some of the remedies that have now been suggested?
Well, in terms of what Minister Pravin Gordhan in his presentation this morning said, it is that government has decided you need to go back to basics. And that's not surprising because critics of the government's previous program or strategy have actually pointed out to many things, most of whom were actually very obvious things that the government actually doesn't have the capacity to actually monitor and actually get other people to pull together, because the National Department of Cooperative Governance is actually not structured that way. And a lot of people were saying you're looking at big issues and big concepts when in fact you have neglected the basics. And the basics are, if you have someone in charge of finances, you've got to get someone who has knowledge, expertise and experience in the management of accounts. If you have someone who has to deal with people, they have to have the passion. They have to they mustn't undermine people. If you are on the frontline desk, you need to know how to treat people. If a government's problem is that money isn't reaching where it is supposed to go, then the accounting officer must be held to account. And on top of that, there has to be consequences. If you don't do your job, get out, ship up or ship out.
Thank you, Vuyo.